JT Barrett, Cam Thomas, SB Nation Studios here in Houston, Texas. This is the Takeover TV. Hopefully you guys are watching on YouTube Live. Hopefully you guys can see us fairly well. That is my hope, and hopefully you guys can hear us as well. I mean, this is definitely a dry run, a test run, but I think that it can definitely work successfully.
Say it past 3 times.
Successfully.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, we're going to see. Might work, might not. Who knows? I mean, all we can do is see what happens.
That is really all that we can do. This is the Takeover, powered by SB Nation Radio. It is brought to you by the Play Draft. Make sure that you guys go and download the Play Draft app on your Google Play Store or your streaming store.
If you have Google Play, get rid of that damn Android.
I guess if you have Google Play, get rid of the Android. Or all you have to do is go and go and download on the App Store in your iPhone. Go to Play Draft. As soon as you make a deposit, the first time you make a deposit, you get a free $3 entry into a game this year. So yeah, I would definitely say go and do that. By any means necessary, go and do that, and so yeah, you guys will be good. But this is the Takeover, powered by SB Nation Radio, brought to you by, of course, the Draft. Cam Thomas, how do you feel today, man? We did a podcast today. We've been pretty productive thus far today.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm hungry and I'm a little bit sleepy. I just got off work all of 10 minutes ago. Okay, you just got off work all of 10 minutes ago, and that's fine, and that's okay. I think what's most importantly here is that we have an episode. We have an episode of the Takeover. Cam Thomas. We will have Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew on Twitter. He will be on the show. It won't be on the YouTube portion, but it will be on the show on the Blog Talk part. So make sure that you guys continue to listen throughout the entirety of the show. Cam Thomas, Carmelo Anthony is a Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, yeah, you got traded for a set of magic beans and strippers who smoke cigarettes.
I think you were a lot nicer than me, because I said he got traded for a pack of Newport, the red box long, and a big red. Yeah.
A big red?
Yeah.
I was thinking more like Dr. B.
Dr. B?
You gotta be
okay.
You gotta be from a impoverished neighborhood to know about Dr. B.
If you don't know what Dr. B is,
go to Sam's.
Dr. Thunder?
Dr. Thunder with all the sugar.
I got a better one. Just cola. Just COLA. Cola, that's it.
Or you can go get you some Orangeette.
Orangeette is a good one as well.
Yeah, we should probably get some in the house.
Yeah, Orangeette is a good one as well.
Yeah, but as far as the Oklahoma City Thunder go, I think they do now have some running mates for Russell Westbrook. Obviously, the best supporting cast he's had since Durant left town. Probably the best cast he's had since
ever, really. Because ever. Because James Harden wasn't James Harden in 2012.
No, he was not. He was becoming James Harden.
Yes.
But now you've got Paul George, an established player, one of the best two-way perimeter players in the league. Melo is an offensive juggernaut in and of itself. Russell Westbrook would run his mother over to win a basketball game. and so with all those things, when you couple all those things together, a lot is on Billy Donovan's plate now. I think that's getting glossed over in the grand scheme of things. Billy Donovan has more expectations now than when he had Corey Brewer, Joakim Noah, Al Horford, and those boys back in Florida, right?
I think the most important thing, we forgot to talk about Billy Donovan in all this. I haven't heard anybody talk about Billy Donovan whatsoever, because I don't think he wants this job. I don't think he wants all this pressure. He got three isolation players on his team right now.
And the problem, this is what no one else talks about either, is that Oklahoma City could still end up with none of these players to start next season.
Royce Young, who he covers the Oklahoma City Thunder, he said that he fully expects Westbrook to sign next year.
Okay, that's one.
And also, if you're Melo, are you opting out of that $20+ million? Let's be serious. Like, Paul George is the only one that's falling.
He might have to bring Paul George back because you would still have the birds on Carmelo.
I think Paul is gone. Just flat. Period.
You think so?
Paul's gone. Yeah. We all know he wants to be in LA. I think they make that happen in LA. I think he's gone.
There's still a lot of things that have to happen though. They still have to get rid of that awful Luol Deng contract.
I thought it was up after next year. How much longer is it?
Too long.
Your organization.
No, we got left with this mess.
What do you mean you got left? It's been your organization for it.
No, I'm saying the management that's in place now got left with this mess.
Okay.
That they're trying to clean up.
All right.
Magic and Rob Pelinka got left with the mess. And I'm not even blaming Kupchak. I'm blaming Jim Buss for this entire mess that is the Los Angeles Lakers cap structure and cap situation. But that's neither here nor there. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be a top 3 seed in the West. I fully expect them to go to the conference finals and lose in 6 games.
So you have the Warriors and then Oklahoma City?
I actually got Oklahoma City as a 3 seed.
Behind the Spurs? Or behind the Rockets?
I got them behind the Spurs.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know.
You can pencil Popovich and the Spurs in for 59 to 63 wins every single year, it seems like. Yeah, so they'll fall somewhere in between there, and it's Oklahoma City's job to figure it out. Now, the problem is the time is going to take for them to figure it out. You could be spotting the Spurs 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could. So I think that's exactly what we all kind of want to look at here. Is that make sure you guys are following our YouTube page because we will be doing roundtables with different people around the NBA.
Around the table?
Around NBA Twitter, I guess is what you want to call it. Because NBA Twitter has definitely taken off. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but NBA Twitter...
Well, you use Twitter way more than I do. It's
like its own atmosphere now. It's literally... You know how there's a black Twitter... There's now an NBA Twitter. I think it's too many people covering NFL to ever be an NFL Twitter. But there's literally a black Twitter, an NBA Twitter. What else we got? That's it?
Yeah.
So that's all I got. If you know anything else, let us know.
I mean, you pay attention to Twitter way more than I do.
Twitter is the way that we connect with our fans. There's people all around who really love to listen to us.
I just go out and I just look for things to like and or retweet and or DMs to slide in.
Has your DM sliding been successful?
You know, I actually have not been sliding. I got a pretty young lady I'm talking to right now, trying to see where it's going.
She must be watching.
No, she's not. She doesn't even know I'm doing this right now.
Okay.
And so I'm actually trying to see where that might go. I mean, I got like 4 or 5 women I'm talking to, so it is what it is.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty bold statement.
I mean, what they gonna do? Lead the team?
Let's jump over to the NFL. I thought that was a little bit... That was the most important thing to talk about. I mean, obviously, a lot of people want to talk about in the NFL, the political thing and the...
Y'all go listen to them old-ass people talk about that kneeling stuff. You can listen to certain debate shows that shall remain nameless that talk about it for 6 days out the week, and they only on for 5. You can go listen to them talk about it. They on FS1 and that other station. Y'all go listen to them talk about it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Y'all have heard everything ad nauseum. I ain't got nothing to say about it.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I don't think there's much that we can add. But let's actually talk about the games. Your Baltimore Ravens shellacked. There's Cam Thomas as he walks off the stage. If you're listening on Blog Talk Radio, Cam did just walk off the stage. If you're watching on YouTube, you will see him walk off the stage here pretty soon. But yeah, no. I mean, the Ravens, they just looked bad.
I will come back when we change the subject.
When we change the subject?
Yep.
All right. Well, come on back. We're gonna change the subject. Let's talk more about the NFL. Let's talk about the Sunday games. You on the podcast today, you really harped on the fact that the 12 o'clock games were really good.
They were. There were a lot of one-possession games and, coming down to the 2-minute warning. And a lot of the teams that were maybe down or if it was a tie, there were teams that the teams actually had the football. Like, I ain't gonna say, I won't say I don't like the games where, you have to get that third down stop or whatever. But I like the team that has to have the football. It has to go down with 2 minutes or whatever, or a minute and 20 seconds and one timeout. That's the kind of football I like to see. And we saw a lot of it outside of the Ravens playing at 8:30 or the drubbing that took place in Minnesota this past week. Outside of that, the 12 o'clock games were really, really good.
Yeah, they were. I mean, Detroit, the Detroit game versus the Falcons, which, yes, people Golden Tate was down. That's what happened. The 10-second rule, I can't speak into that. I don't make rules. Golden Tate was down before he crossed the plane line or the pod line, however you want to call it. Yes, he was down. So there's that. You also got who was that? The Houston Texans.
You got Texans Patriots.
Patriots. Obviously, Tom Brady is
still Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, even at the age of 40.
And Brandon Cooks now has a place in the offense.
He does have a place in the offense now. Him and Chris Hogan. Shout out to Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan,
you're on my fantasy team.
I'm starting you this week, Chris Hogan. I have benched Terrell Pryor. I have learned the error of my ways. Just like I said on the podcast, Terrell Pryor, my ancestors did not die for you to have 2 catches. Okay, they didn't go through oppressions and have dogs and whatnot sicked on them and hoses turned on for you to have 2 catches. Get your ish together.
Gotcha.
And you are on my bench until further notice. Have you noticed in his team picture he got an S curl?
Does he really?
He has an S curl.
Wow. A whole S curl.
Yeah, it's pretty trash.
Yeah, I figured it was. What about also we talked about those 3 games. What's another game that I'm missing? That Jets Dolphins game was pathetic.
Well, that was was that 3 o'clock?
Bills,
Broncos. I didn't see a whole lot of that one. What I am alarmed about, and there's a couple of things I'm alarmed about.
Okay, let's hear.
Ben Roethlisberger is really bad on the road.
Really bad on the road is an understatement.
He is really, really bad on the road.
Yeah.
And the second thing I'm alarmed about is that I don't know if it's the team around him, but is Cam Newton regressing?
I think he is, honestly. I just don't see him at all.
Or do you think it's just him shaking off the rust from not really going through a whole lot of off-season workouts, per se? It was more so rehab.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he is regressing, though. I'm totally with you. Either that or the offensive line is bad.
Well, we know the offensive line is bad, and there's nothing we can do about that. Christian McCaffrey, Curtis Samuel were brought in to help offset that. And then the offensive lineman that plays receiver is now hurt. So, I mean, that only takes away from his targets. His safety blanket's hurt. So, I mean, what is a Cam to do?
What is a Cam to do is what she said.
Who's the replacement tight end? Is it Ed Dixon? It is Ed Dixon.
Is it?
It is.
Wow.
Ed Dixon is their replacement tight end. So now he starts. But Devin Funchess is starting now to get more targets and look like a serviceable NFL receiver.
And Christian McCaffrey as well.
Well, Christian McCaffrey has been getting the touches all year long. I just want him to score a touchdown. Not because I have him on my fantasy team, right? But simply because I want all the rookies that were, highly touted to get that first taste of an NFL touchdown, keep the ball, frame it, do whatever he wants to. All that stuff.
Okay, all right. Excuse us if we...
Yeah, excuse you. They know us. That's you back there.
If you saw that. Well, I'm just definitely trying to make sure that the people can definitely hear us, and it's definitely getting to the people. Again, don't forget, Uncle Drew will be joining us here. It will not be on the YouTube-itch, but it definitely will be...
Spell YouTube-itch.
YouTube-itch. YOUTUBEAGE. YouTube-itch.
That's YouTube-edge.
We'll take the E out. What else do you want me to tell you?
I got nothing.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you don't have anything. But yeah, for sure, I think, the Panthers are bad. I actually predicted that the Saints was going to win that game. I had money on the Saints. I'm so happy.
So you're a gambler.
I had money on the Saints. I did a parlay this week. I had money on the Saints and on the Jaguars, and of course I won money because both of those teams were able to pull off victories. Hey, good job, Jaguars and Saints. I'll see who I want to bet on this week. I don't really bet on. I bet on the money line, so I don't really necessarily bet on the plus minus. Or I don't bet on the over unders. I bet money line. Money line is straight. Who gonna win the game? Who gonna win the game? So that's what I like to bet. I like to think of myself as a prediction machine. You like to call yourself the Black Matthew Berry. And so, yeah. That's what I like to think of myself as.
I'm also the Black Nostradamus.
The Black Nostradamus.
Yes.
Got you.
Look, when I drop my camisms, that's straight fire.
I don't know what a camism is. What is that exactly?
I mean, it's essentially the same thing as hashtag cam logic.
Okay.
I mean, I'll break my logic down to you later. You know, we gotta feel the show.
Okay.
I'll break it down at the end.
It's only a 45-minute show.
I'll break it down towards the end. I'll break it after we talk to Uncle Drew.
Okay. Well, we'll be talking to Uncle Drew last, so we gotta break it down before the end.
I'll get to it eventually.
Okay. Cool. What other games this past weekend?
I mean, hell, we went through all of them. All the ones worth talking about, anyway.
The Sunday night game, we didn't talk about that, but that was pretty bad. Raiders and Redskins.
At that point, I was already 8-9 beers in. I really didn't watch the game.
Or some people who like to call them the racial slurs.
And then, like I said, at this point, I was 8-9 beers in. I wasn't watching that damn game. Once I saw that Kirk Cousins was cooking, got me some good fantasy points. That's all I was really checking for. I didn't have any particular rooting interest. I wasn't really overly interested outside of my fantasy perspective. And with that being said, I drank more beer and played more Madden.
I had a very interesting question. The San Diego Chargers, as they continue to lose
Los Angeles.
San Diego, Los Angeles, Baltimore, Maryland, don't matter. Huh? As they continue to lose games, and as they continue to lose games, close games, like, do we know how good they are? Because that was a game that they lost on Sunday that was, really, really close.
I mean, we see what this is now.
Like, he threw three or four interceptions.
Should have been 4, but they called it incomplete.
And they lost about 2 touchdowns, and the last one was a garbage touchdown. Like, 3 interceptions still in, they were still only down by 7. Who faulted it? I mean, can we continue to keep blaming Phillip Rivers? Can we blame the offensive line? Can we blame the running game? Can we blame what?
Well, no,
is it to blame?
Well, it's gotta be because they have slow starts. I mean, they're not a team that comes out motivated. They get down and then they get motivated. I mean, we saw this when who was that? Ken Wisenhunt was a head coach. I mean, they were. If they win, they lost 6 games by 10 points or less, or 7 points or less. If they win 3 of those games, they're an 11-win ball club.
Okay.
I mean, they're that close from being a legitimate team.
Yeah.
Like, they could possibly have one of the best offenses with all the tools that they got for Phillip Rivers, especially once Mike Williams gets back. Then you got him with Keenan Allen and Tyrell Williams and Travis Benjamin, Gates and Henry, and then you still got Melvin Gordon. And Phillip Rivers doesn't even get the credit he deserves as a good quarterback simply because he came in with Eli and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
If he came in with anybody else, Phillip would be recognized in a whole different light. That's not to say he doesn't deserve the criticism he gets. I mean, because he throws a lot of turnovers. I mean, if you go back and look at the stats, Phillip Rivers has thrown 21 picks in his last 12 games. It's not the best numbers ever.
That is a lot.
I would not mind having Phillip Rivers as my quarterback.
Yeah.
If I was starting a team, I wouldn't mind taking Phillip Rivers. Or if I had a different team, if I was a Chargers fan, I'd be okay with having Phillip Rivers. And they've got good players on defense. They just don't come out motivated. And that's a problem. That's on coaching.
Straight on coaching, right?
That's got to be coaching. Coaching and the veteran leaders on the team. Because Phillip Rivers is an outspoken guy. Everybody knows it. I mean, hell, they call him the best trash talker in the league. Phillip's got to inspire. Coach has to inspire. I don't know what's got to change, but they have too much talent to be underachieving like this. They should not be 0-3.
Well, I just don't know. I mean, I know they have a bunch of talent. Obviously, that might be the second most injury-prone team in the league, outside of the. Who's the most injury-prone? Them or the Ravens?
The Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, because
the Baltimore Ravens just lost another lineman.
Oh wow! You know what? Here's something very, very interesting. I am reading this right now as we speak. Fans demand Ray Lewis statue be removed. As of Wednesday afternoon, more than 35,000 people signed a petition to remove the statue of Ravens legend from the Baltimore Stadium. Count?
Sound like angry Trump supporters.
Oh no, those are black people. Those are black people. I can guarantee you that.
There can be angry Trump supporters too.
Those are all black people.
What makes you think they're black people, JT?
Oh, have you not seen the memes on social media about Ray Lewis? They called him you called him a coon on the radio show yesterday.
I call him Uncle Tom.
You called him Uncle Tom. Somebody called him a coon. It was supposed to be opportunist, but coon in front of it.
Coonatoonis. I mean, look, it's so many mixed emotions.
Oh, man.
People just don't understand. They understand what they want to understand, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. Cam Thomas is going to leave it at that?
I am.
The YouTube portion will be ending at 10:30. So before the YouTube portion ends, I do want to say, fantasy football fans, listen up. It's not too late to join the highest rated fantasy football app, that is Draft. Play in a real live snake draft, but be done in under 5 minutes. And they last for just 1 week. Drafts start every couple minutes, so you can join one right now for week 4 of the NFL season. The best part? Play for cold hard cash. And get this, your chances of winning are 80% better than on the salary cap sites. All new players get a free entry into a real money draft when you make your first deposit. But you have to use the promo code TakeoverTV. That's right. Play a real money game for free just by using the promo code TakeoverTV. And it gets even better. Draft is so sure you'll love it that they're even offering TakeoverTV listeners a money-back guarantee up to $100. Just search Draft in your app store or go to draft.com and come play for free right now with promo code TakeoverTV. Cam Thomas.
Yes, sir.
What is going on?
Not much, you know. I'm at a remote location.
I'm not for sure what that means.
I'm at a remote location. I'm coming to you live from the annals of the SB Nation Studios.
Annals of SB Nation Studios. Gotcha.
I'm in the crevices, bonding with the janitorial staff.
Gotcha. Well, guys, actually, the YouTube portion will be ending here soon. Actually, it'll be ending right now. And at 10:30, we will be bringing on Mr. Uncle Drew. And so that definitely should be fun. So we will see what we can get into until then. So that's what we can get into until then, Cam Thomas. Did you have anything else on sports?
I did not.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and end the YouTube portion now. YouTube fans, we really do appreciate you guys for watching. Blog Talk Radio. You guys stick around. Uncle Drew will be on.